Hi, everyone. We're live on the Connecting Mamas channel, and we're really just trying to show what the experience of a women's circle is. They're really set up in terms of doing multiple principles. And so every time we're going to do one, we're going to talk about one of them. And so today's first principle is just where we learn to speak from the heart. And we're really focusing on not really when we listen to each other, we're not thinking about what we're going to say. We're just when it's our turn, we think about whatever needs to be said at that moment. And a lot of times these circles are sacred. We don't share them live. We have permission with all three of them today to do them live. We were just doing a brief one for you to get an experience. Most circles go an hour to an hour and a half to really get into that. But we just want to give you what is that like for people because it's a little bit different. And so we're going to do our normal. I'm going to pass it over to Melanie just to stitch us in today. And we'll go to Patrice, Abigail, and back to me to open up the circle.
Hi, my name is Melanie Soloway. I am stitching in from Los Angeles, California, and today I am stitching in with love.
I am Patrice Porter, stitching in from the boreal forest of Saskatchewan, Canada, and I'm stitching in with uplifting.
I am Abigail Price, stitching in from Henderson, Nevada, and I'm stitching in with creativity.
And many times we do stitch in lighting a candle. And so I'm Michelle stitching in from Franklin, Wisconsin, with really thinking about connection and community today. And that kind of leads us to our topic of this today's principle as well, is we're just talking about how speaking from the heart and what it means to really connect and be sacred. And so a lot of times there's a passage read or a meditation or different things that can be done in this space for the sake of just this being showing you how it all works. We're going to keep it really simple, because keeping it simple really helps sometimes too. So what does it mean to share our truth? Even if it's imperfect, not fixing, and you're just witnessing each other, really thinking about that. And we spent a lot of time actually before we went live right now speaking about community and connection. So I want to open that up to each of us. And I'm going to go backwards this time and have Abigail start with us. And remembering as part of Circle that silence is always welcome. So if someone doesn't feel like sharing, or sometimes people use talking sticks, different things, you're always welcome just to do it. And I'll pass it on to Abigail.
So silence is always welcome, and they'll probably never see me silent. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Michelle was talking about doing it imperfectly, the imperfect part. So I said creativity instead of connectivity. So there you go. That's that imperfect thing coming out. I love the connectivity that I found in circles, and it's something that I never thought I would experience, because I started calling Michelle my kumbaya lady. This is touchy-feely mama here who I won't get on LinkedIn because I'm not the touchy-feely person, and I had the nerve to call this woman my kumbaya lady. Okay. What I find in circles, I a lot of times come in heavy with things on me, and just being among these women. By the time I leave, I'm so light. There is something found in these circles that cannot be recreated. You have to be there to experience them. And so I'm going to leave you with that and pass it to Patrice.
Before we pass it to Patrice, we are going to send Abigail our love, because Circle is also about giving and receiving. And as women, it really is about learning to receive as well. And we're just giving her love for sharing her heart with us today.
And with that, you're complete, Abigail?
And with that, I'm complete, Patrice.
All right. Well,
she didn't even cry, I don't think.
And that's, I'm going to carry on from what Abigail was saying, that like when the circle is set up for us to come at a certain time and everything. And there's always this busyness and all the thing. It's like, there's this inkling in my mind is saying, oh, you're so busy. You got to do this, you got to do that. And then, okay, yeah, you'll fit it in. And then, but there's always that inkling behind. It's like, you're going to feel so much better you know, it's such a lovely energy that comes from this. And as Abigail, it's that connection and the synchronicities and when you're speaking from the heart, you feel it, others feel it, and that's where the connection begins. And the energy just starts to rise, and I feel myself like my inner being starts coming out, or my true being, and then I can let that other stuff just fall away, and it's that love and connection and I'm always just very surprised, and I don't know why. I've been to a number of circles, but I'm always just very surprised at the uplift and the energy and the connectivity that we're from all different areas, but we are here and we are tight and connected and feeling the love. And with that, I am complete.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. So speaking from the heart, right? For me, it's like, what is it that my soul wants to say? And Patrice, really what I was marveling about, and what I'm marveling about, is I had this old story where I really resisted technology. I didn't like technology, all of the things. And now I'm so grateful for technology because of the connections that it is allowing for, right? Like, I hadn't met any of you in person, and Michelle and I got to meet just a couple of weeks ago in person and actually hug each other. And when we can go from being in this virtual space and then actually seeing each other to hug each other, yet the relationship is truly already there. And this being able to come together from our different walks of life, whether we're in a different country, in a different state, in a different, that we can actually literally, we are coming together and getting to know each other's hearts and hear what's on our souls, right? What's on our hearts, what's on our souls, what's in our beingness, and coming together in this way. And I think because we had that conversation this morning, I stitched in with love, because that's what I truly feel for each and every one of you. And that is what happens when we come into these circles. And Michelle, your tagline of connecting mamas, I think for so long, I was going through some difficulty in my own motherhood journey, and I felt so alone and I felt so isolated. And it was really the coming together and the being in supportive community where I really, truly began to heal. And these communities that you have created through the Mama Hub, through the Mama Genius Hub, and these circles are, as you know, that's my vision, is to take these circles and then for us to just keep expanding and expanding, because it's really about the ripple effect of what we do. And just remembering, as mamas, we are not alone. And any of us may not have the exact same story, but when we listen and we come into circle, we will inevitably find someone who, if not multiple people, who have similar stories. And it's really supportive and loving. And like I said, I just really, really appreciate and love you guys. And I'm so happy to be here with you. And I'm glad you lit your candle this morning, because when we were in actual circle, we all light candles. But I know if we were in person, all I would have to do, Michelle, is take my match and borrow from your flame, which would take nothing away from your flame. It would just light mine. And that's how we light up the world. So with that, I am complete, and thank you. Thank you.
I just want to focus on the word community and realizing that that as women, we need to do things differently. And it is through community that we really excel. And I felt just even before we got onto the circle, we had our own little one before talking about what this all is. And it really when you put into perspective, we really are doing things differently. We're doing it through a community. Like the weight of my shoulders was just lifted off. I could physically feel it off because of the support of the people in this room and the support that we're doing through all this, and really just showing what circles are, because it is more of an experience. It is more of not really even watching this right now, it might be like, well, what is this? But it's really about that speaking from your heart and learning what are those inner things inside your mind that you might not see, and being in a space where you can be seen, heard by other women is just something that I hadn't found before I learned about this process, and really to be able to express who I am and to be seen for that, because I hid for so long. I wasn't speaking from the heart. I was hiding my true self, trying to people please and do other things. And so I want to bring that and bring this live, which is one of the first few times that we're doing this, and really opening up to what is this process. And so first of all, I just want to thank each one of you here for being open to doing this publicly. This usually is a very private, sanctuous thing. That's why this is just going to be brief. These do go for an hour to an hour and a half on purpose to really be able to express who you are and to see that. And so with that, I'm just thankful for this community and grateful to each of you. And I am complete. And I'll send it back to Melanie to stitch us out.
I am Melanie from Los Angeles, California, and I would like to stitch us out with creating safe spaces together.
And I'm Patrice Porter, stitching out from the boreal forests of Canada and feeling the love.
And I am Abigail Price, stitching out from Henderson, Nevada, and community is everything.
And I'm Michelle, stitching out from Franklin, Wisconsin. And I have to second that with community, really, and just really feeling the gratitude of the community that we are creating. Thank you, ladies. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you in our next circle.